the first time I heard Jim's name, I think Chris was starting about 7 or 8 years ago to begin to frame the piece that's behind us. As there were more and more framed pieces, and I didn't have a full idea of how many there would be at the beginning, I kept thinking I really want a big space, and I said, but I need to see someone who is going to be open enough to just allow me to come in and do it, you know, and not say, what does it look like, because I didn't have any idea about that.
I had planned the punching bag project back in March, and you know, I had said to Joe, well, if we're doing that event, we can include your piece and combine events, and it was a perfect opportunity for Joe to put this work up.
So I think when I started the Elizabeth Foundation, and also at school at Loyola Gallery, they were in a linear in a lot. Right. And I think that it, like, showing it in this way, or sort of this iteration, because I think you can show it maybe anyway, right? Yeah. I mean, it's interesting because there's like a different dialogue here. I feel like I need time to think about it, but at the same time, I'm liking the overall feel of it and like sort of the weight of the wall. Right?
You know, what was really interesting when you came in, Patricia, was, you know, when you came in and there was no kind of history, like investment. Yeah. And you were just, let me scrunch this and do that, and you were playing with it more collage-like. I thought it was really fascinating because it was all on the floor. I hadn't put it up yet. And I know you had come in, maybe you were gonna help hang it, and I was like, I didn't even know what it was yet. So I think, you know, doing that kind of released me from, it doesn't all have to be in this narrative grid that I was thinking about. And I think that's, you know, changing my title, the retelling of a narrative, you know, was something that I thought I need to also put that in. But even visually, you know, when we were talking about, I think it was flipped before, I was going to do these more delicate pieces at the top.
Right, and I was like, you're not going to be able to see them. I was thinking more conceptually about the wall. Also, especially because this space, you know, she can't go wide. So you're going to have images that are really far away and images that are really low. And so for me, I was thinking, well, if you have a simple grid, you're going to have kind of a wall of sound. And everything is just going to be like bum, 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 bum. And you're going to lose kind of the identity of the individual images, which is the way I was thinking about these as poetic stanzas. It's more poetry than prose, right? In that there's more space, breathing space. There's a certain level of repetition, but within the repetitions there are these pauses and breaks and syncopations.
And also, as you were saying, you know, the consistent beat negates all of it. So it's like, it's in those, you know, contextual pods. So you're able to say, within this pod, maybe I can make relationships, whether they're implied by the pod or I'm just putting them in so they fit. Yeah. Or, you know, or I actually did group them in particular kinds of ways. You know, it's like it changes all of the time. So, you know, some of these are found, some of these I'm in as a child, and also some of these were, you know, vintage or vernacular photographs. But I think flipping the imagery so that with the more powerful, easily read from a distance pieces, putting those on the top and then the more delicate ones on the bottom, that was really key. And the other thing was when you started to scrunch, you know, you did the top half. So in this collaboration, which became it because you came in and we're starting to scrunch all that. It was also, I had to respond to the grid that you started.
Like call and response.
Right, so the call and response then allowed me to really think about this in a different kind of way. One of the things that I was saying is it's so much about collaboration, you know, like really going back and kind of unpacking a narrative and thinking, where did this all start? And I think it, you know, because we've had such a long relationship with framing, I've always loved the conversations because it was like, is this working? What do you think about this?
It started out, I think, with those, the subway window ones up there, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, I don't know, I think it just became really organic. It's like we just started looking at them and dealt with the images individually, and then as you started to add to it, we kept everything within the format to keep sort of codify the presentation, if you will, and then I don't know, it just kind of evolved, right?
Got obsessive for a while.
You know, think about photography, it's all continuous, right? I mean, it's an ongoing process.
Someone was saying, "Are you done yet?" You know, might might be done when I don't bring anything else to you.
Yeah,
I don't know
right,
yet.
exactly.
So in this configuration, it's finished, but there might be
Right.
something else.